You get it? Look, see?
You want me to use the thing, like the gravel?
No, just freaking do it.
Can I use it though? So you can get some clips of that. Yeah, we got B-roll. Oh, you're filming still.
Here. Come on, Bachi. No, you're gonna have to reset it. All right, do you get it? Come on.
You just ruined the
Bachi,
whole...
come on. Bachi, come.
Jenna's obsessed with Zach. Take one.
Okay, goodbye. Hey guys, so we wanted to start from the beginning. A lot of behind scene things that you guys have never seen or the show has never showed you. We want to tell you where we met, how we acted, all of those fun things. So we're gonna answer some questions. I always think that Zach and I would have gotten along. He was a football player. I was a cheerleader my whole life. So honestly, I mean, football player, cheerleader, it like goes hand in hand.
Absolutely not. In high school, I was more focused on athletics and academics, and Jenna looked like she washed up on the Jersey Shore after a night of partying and falling off the pier. I would have not gone after Jenna because I would have known that I wouldn't have been allowed to date her because she was a wild child. Her quote in her high school yearbook was, do it now because tomorrow it might be illegal. So I don't think a straight A student would have gone for that. I probably would have tried to ignore her, but knowing her, she would have chased me around and, done whatever she could to get a hold of me because she is and forever will be obsessed with me.
I was a social butterfly. I loved everyone. I was always out clubbing and just being disgusting. And yeah, you know what? He probably wouldn't have liked me. No. So when I first met Zach, it was my first season of the challenge, and we met at a hotel in California, and I was with my ex Jay at the time. That's how I got casted for The Real World. So I look at Zach, and he kind of looked at me and came over and introduced himself, all sweaty, muscles bulging. He probably did like 15 push-ups before he even came and said hi. But yes, he was very big, very handsome, and I was super excited to meet him.
I first saw Jenna. I was walking out of the gym at a hotel at LAX. I was working out with Johnny Riley. We walked out of the gym. We were walking towards the front desk, and Jenna was standing there. I knew who she was because she was on the season, couple seasons after in The Real World. I knew who she was. Thought she was attractive, but when I saw her in person for the first time, she was much prettier in person than she was on TV, and I already thought she was a babe, so I was enamored for sure.
Surprisingly, I made the first move. We were all filming the challenge, and Johnny Bananas told me, hey, why don't you give Zach a kiss on the cheek? So I gave Zach a kiss on the cheek, and he did not turn in, and it was super embarrassing, and I just remember being like, are you kidding me? So then Johnny tells me, hey, Jenna, do it again. And I'm sitting there like, no, this kid is playing me. We are on camera. I do not want to deal with it. But of course I did it. I was a little drunk. And Zach finally turned in. And it was a little weird because I started using tongue and like Zach thought it was just a kiss. But we're not going to get there.
So as I remember it, the first move was made on Exodus 2. We were sitting on the couch. That was like right outside where the kitchen was. And everyone was kind of like daring us to kiss. And finally we did, and I went in for the peck. Jenna went in with the tongue. She completely made out with my face, looked like a slob. And then we went in and we made out. So technically Jenna made the first move.
Honestly, I don't remember who made it official. I'm sure I did because I'm a little bit crazy when it comes to Zach. But we were not dating on the show, and we started talking as soon as I got eliminated after that horrible, horrible final that Jay and I quit, unfortunately. But Zach and I, we kind of just hit it off. We winded up staying in touch with each other when we left the house, and that was it.
I had a plan to make it official on one of Jenna's first trips to Michigan. We were talking the night before, and we were both going to go out with some friends, but I was still in Michigan, she was in New York, so we were talking on the phone, and she kept kind of hinting at like talking to other guys, flirting with other guys, and I said, well, I'm not going to do that tonight. Well, she said, how can I be so sure? And I was trying to like wait because I had this like cute little thing. I was going to ask to be my girlfriend, give her some flowers, all this other, corny BS. And she ruined it. She told me she was going to probably dance and flirt and grind on other guys because she didn't have a boyfriend. So that night before she went out, I asked her to be my girlfriend and told her that she ruins everything. And she's ruined almost every cute thing I try to do for her ever since.
Zach is a lot different now than he was on the show. I think he's way better. He used to kind of be a little bit of a player, you know, he had that little fuckboy mentality, but he actually grew and is a great person now, and I'm so happy. But Zach used to just, I don't know, he was super flirty, he was super cute, super nice, just, I don't know, he wanted ass, let's be real.
To be honest with you, one of the main reasons why I liked Jenna right away was because she was not always like fiercely trying to get the attention. People on the challenge tend to be attention hungry and will do anything for attention, regardless of how they look or how they feel or their morals. And Jenna never did that. She never compromises who she is. She gets attention based off of who she is as a person, and it has nothing to do with her trying. And I really like that about her. There was like a confidence that you didn't really see in challenge people. So I was really attracted to that. So on our first challenge together, Jenna was like very, very quiet, very humble. She fit in really well. Everyone liked her. Just really pleasant to be around, and she hasn't changed at all since then.
So people always say you know when the person is the one, and I honestly, goes right over my head. I don't know who is going to be the one, but after so much history with Zach and, you know, doing a challenge, you gain such a crazy relationship with these people because not everybody gets to be in those situations, and you get through a lot, you experience a lot with that person. So I think that's definitely where we started to grow. After that, it was up to us to stay in touch with each other. Zach lived in Michigan, I lived in New York, so we had to make that work. And it was a lot, but we put all of our effort forward when it came to our relationship. And although we had a lot of breakups, we also had a lot of makeups.
I don't really remember when I realized it. I think it was more so I was fighting it for a while. Like, I knew she was the one. I just didn't want to admit it. But I think when I finally admitted it was probably Champs vs. Stars, when we kind of rekindled everything. I was like, okay, this is for real. I haven't talked to her or really seen her in like a year and a half, almost 2 years. And we picked up wherever we left off, and we just started our friendship right over then and there. And that friendship turned into what you see today.
I honestly think Zach and I are the right person at the wrong time when we first met. We were both super young. I was 21. I just turned 21. And Zach was super young too, you know, just got out of a relationship. So we wanted to just have fun. We wanted to just party. We wanted to enjoy the time that we had on the show. And honestly, I just think we didn't care. And I know you guys always see me as like, oh, she's always crying and she cares for him so much. But Zach used to think I was a sociopath. And I just thought Zach was playing me for a while. So I didn't want to give him all of my feelings because I thought I was getting played. But it turns out Zach wasn't playing me. And he was actually being really sincere and genuine, and I took that for granted.
I would definitely attribute that to us being on television, being in the public eye, being on a television show where people are constantly trying to basically just do anything they can to get you out of a house, embarrass you, shame you publicly. So it's just as difficult, you know. It's tough, it's hard work, and I think the reason why it was so rocky was because we were immature. We didn't realize how hard you had to work to make a relationship last. Now we know that, and we actively do that instead of getting lazy and letting things kind of fall between the wayside. Now we take care of business when it needs to be taken care of. We really make sure to put our relationship before anything else. So it wasn't rocky then because we were still young, doing our own thing, kind of selfish, and but that's just part of growing up.
So I was super nervous to go to this challenge. This is my first one ever. The only person I knew was Jay, and that doesn't say much. But Zach was with a few guys, and he came up to me and introduced himself all sweaty and jacked, and I was all excited because, hey, I've been dating people that are a little smaller.
Like I previously said, I flew into LA. I got there pretty early. We were getting ready to go on Access 2, so everyone meets at an airport, and then we fly out from there. So we met in LAX for that one. We all got there at some point during the day. It was August 6th. No, wait. It was August 5th, 2014. And I got there before everyone. I had previously done a challenge with Johnny Riley, so he got to the hotel. We were actually roommates at the hotel. We were both there, so we went down to the gym. We were getting a workout in so we could sweat a little bit because we knew we were going to travel out the next day. When we got done working out, we walked around the corner, and we both pretty much were like, boom. Tongues out, drooling, because there was Jenna. She was wearing a white tank top. She was wearing black spandex pants. And the only thing I didn't agree about with that outfit was she had these weird shoes on that were like a mixture between a sneaker and a heel. And I was like, what is that horrendous thing on your foot? But then about 2.5 feet up from that was the most juicy, delicious bum I've ever seen in my life. And then accompanied by the cutest face with the most beautiful green eyes. So, I mean, I was in it to win it from day one. I pretty much thought in my head, like, if I get lucky enough to get this girl to like me, I better try to keep her around, because instantly the physical attraction was there.
Honestly, I love Zach's smile. I don't know what it is. And he has these like crazy eyes that just make him look super serious and super like interesting. So I kind of like his eyes and his smile, but his smile has always got me. And he always has this really good wink that I'm super obsessed with. He actually still winks at me and I just think it's so cute. But I'd have to say probably his smile, then his eyes / wink.
My favorite feature about Jenna would definitely have to be physical, that is, her eyes and her teeth. Because they're both very, very, her teeth are very white and clean, and her eyes are the most beautiful green eyes I've ever seen. And I just, for some reason, find her very lucky, and I think it has a lot to do with her green eyes. Because only 3% of the population has green eyes, so she's a 1 in a million score.
I have to use the right words because he will be seeing this and he will probably kill me. So if I had to describe Zach in 3 words, it would be caring, because he cares about everyone that he cares. Well, that didn't make sense. Okay. The first one would be caring, because he cares for everybody that he loves, his family and his friends. The second one would be funny, because Zach has a crazy dry sense of humor. Not a lot of people know that. If you actually sit down and talk to him one-on-one, he actually is pretty funny. I'll give him that. Not as funny as me, but he's funny. And the last one would be forgiving, because I think Zach has learned over the years he has to be forgiving. He can't be stubborn, and he apologizes a lot, and I really envy that.
Loyal, beautiful inside and out, and stubborn would be mine. So loyal, beautiful, and stubborn would be my words for Jenna. Loyal, because when she's got your back, she has your back, and she will never leave you. Beautiful, because she really is obviously very beautiful, but on the inside she's beautiful too. She's got a really good heart. And then stubborn, because I've never met a more stubborn human being in my entire life, and that says a lot.
One of my favorite memories with Zach that actually still makes me laugh to this day. You guys are all gonna be like, what the hell? But it is so funny. Zach was having a really bad day. This is when he used to live in a treehouse, and he went to open his door super aggressive on his car and ripped the entire door off of the hinge. I was so purple in the face, I could not breathe, and I didn't want to show him that I was laughing, so I started looking out the window when we were driving. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. My heart literally gave out, and I looked at him, and we both just started bursting laughing, and we still talk about the story today because it was just so funny. But I really did try and hold it in. But when I tell you I was purple, like the girl in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, purple in the face, I thought I was having a heart attack. Whew.
Well, I have a lot of favorite memories, but I guess when I proposed, that's my favorite now. But there was one specific night in New York City, in a hotel room. She knows what I'm talking about. Great memories.
So we all saw me break my foot on Champs for Stars, and it absolutely sucked. I have 9 pins in there, 2 plates, all these crazy things, and screws, whatever else is in there, I don't know. And I think Zach and I have not been talking for probably the past 1.5 years, and I think me breaking my foot, as crazy as it sounds, brought us together because we realized how much we care about each other. I know Zach was in a different place in his life, and he still came through and checked on me every day, told me he loved me, took care of me. He literally lowered me into the bathtub because I could not move out and I was so drugged up on all the drugs from the surgery. He put me on the toilet, everything. We really realized that we loved each other probably around then.
Okay, first of all, it did not take Jenna to break her foot for me to give the relationship a second chance. So I don't really even know what to say because that doesn't make any sense to me because I think it was just seeing her that gave it the second chance. I really think that when you do a distance relationship, you kind of lose touch with how you really feel. And I was able to do that because we didn't really see each other all the time. But just being around her, you learn quickly how much we loved each other. So it had nothing to do with her breaking her foot.
Well, little do you all know, it was actually on the show weeks in, and it was never aired. But there is a funny part that I wanted to tell you guys. When we were just kissing in the bathroom, I heard the cameras come in, and I literally told Zach to jump out the window because he was not walking out, and I was not doing this walk of shame, okay? So I literally told Zach, I was like, you're jumping out the window. And he looked at me like I was crazy, and I just opened the window. Go ahead. Go. Jump.
Like, shared a bed, took a nap. That's a private question. That's a very personal question. And I think that's already been answered. And I don't know what she said because it was in Panama.
I do not think Zach and I do well on the challenge together. There's just so much drama. We are so great off of the show, even though we love the show to death, but I do think we do better, one of us going and one of us staying home. Although, it's just a lot. Zach and I have met on the show, so we already deal with having our relationship in the limelight for everyone to see, and we signed up for that, so we're cool with it, but it is a lot to hear people comment and give their comments and their opinions on stuff, they don't know the entire story about. But honestly, I do like being on the challenge with Zach because there is someone that I trust there 100% and I know has the best interest for me. But we are so close with each other and we care so much about each other that sometimes you let your anger out on the person you love the most. So that's why sometimes you guys always see us fighting. But we're not like that at home, I swear. But again, everybody fights, okay? Everybody.
That's a double-sided question. So being on a challenge together, it's easier because we're around each other and you have the support and you don't have to constantly play mind games with yourself and wonder what the other person is doing. But it's harder to do well because, you have a target on your back being in a relationship. Ask any relationship. Everyone targets you. So winning is harder when you're on it together, but it's easier to be on the show and deal with the day-to-day struggles when you're together. So I would prefer her there, but if I'm trying to make the money, I need to play a little more selfish. So I've always done better on seasons where we're not on it together because I don't have a big target on my back. I'm able to just lay low. I don't have to defend two people. I can just kind of be my own. But I prefer her there because she comforts me in a lot of ways. And I love her.
I know you all think that I said I love you first, but I absolutely did not. Zach said I love you first. He actually said it in his sleep. We were in New York City and I heard him say it and I was like, oh my gosh, Zach just said he loved me. But then when we woke up and I asked Zach, hey, do you remember what you said last night? He said no and just acted like he had no idea what he said because he didn't. Then I was just so heartbroken. I'm like, how do you not know? But I ended up telling Zach that he said I love you and he's like, oh, nice. I guess I talk in my sleep and I guess I say true things in my sleep. I'm like, all right, I guess that's romantic.
First, I did in my sleep in that hotel room in New York City. It was a very special moment. Jenna was probably crying when she talked about it.
Zach and I did not date in the challenge house whatsoever. Although we didn't hook up or talk to anybody else on a flirty level, we didn't want to tie each other down. I know Zach just got out of a relationship at the time, and I honestly was dating somebody at the time, but we broke up on TV. I don't know if you guys even saw that, but we kind of just didn't want to pressure each other. We wanted to just have a good time. It was my first challenge, and we just had a good time. That's all.
Well, considering we met like 2.5 weeks before that, we weren't like technically quote unquote together, but when I got eliminated, I left a note that said, if you talk to anybody else, I'm gonna kill you. And I meant it because that would really piss me off. But no, we didn't really officially start dating till about maybe a couple weeks after we got back, maybe a month. I forgot when the conversation was, but it was official a couple weeks after the challenge, but it was definitely known before we parted ways that we weren't gonna, do anything to ruin it.
I think I'm different today than when we first met because I'm a lot more mature. I'm a lot more understanding. I'm not so crazy and emotional, even though I may look it and act it sometimes. But I am very level-headed and down to earth, and I'm just way better.
Well, I'm definitely a lot skinnier, and I have shorter hair. I have more facial hair, and I'm just really a lot calmer. And I think I'm way wiser. I know a lot more. I've been through a lot more, and I think I have better priorities now than I did back then.
I mean, technically, I guess I did cheat with Zach when I first met him. I was dating somebody else at the time, but I heard he was cheating on me, so then I cheated on him with Zach.
Yes, we both have. We both have. And it was worth it every single time. I think when Jenna first met me, she was sort of with a guy that was on Dating Naked, and then she left him for me, and then I left someone to be with her.
When I told Zach to jump out of the bathroom window, he really thought I was kidding, and he thought I was just being funny and cute, but I was like, no, get out.
I used to have a car. I had it since I was in high school. It was a 2009 GMC. No. Sorry, it was a 2005 GMC Envoy. And it was on its last leg when we first started dating. And we were parked on a slant. And when we were getting in the car, I went to pull my door closed. And the entire door just pulled off the car. And Jenna could not stop laughing. And I'm pissed. So well, it wasn't the whole door. It was like the frame of the door came off the metal part, and the handle was gone, and so the door had no handle, and I'm pissed off. I had to duct tape the door shut, and I had to get in on the opposite side of the car, and I'm so mad, and she's just sitting there laughing. And I couldn't have been more pissed, but she was laughing. She couldn't control her laughter so hard that she was crying in the car. And eventually, as mad as I was and as expensive as it was to have to either fix that or get a new car, I just started laughing too. So I don't know, it's probably not funny to you guys that I pulled my car door off, but it was so funny to us because I was so pissed and she didn't want me to see her laughing. So she was trying to hold it in, which made her laugh harder. And it was just a really funny moment.
I'm gonna be honest, I never thought that a relationship was gonna come with Zach. I just remember he was so sweet and so nice on the show. I just thought he was going back into the guys' room and talking shit about me, but he actually wasn't, and he was being really super cute and super sweet, but that's just how my mind is. I think guys are players when they look like that. And no, I didn't think anything was gonna come from this. I thought that maybe we'd talk a little bit, but I mean, it was just kind of occupying our time while we were there. But turns out we both really liked each other, and we started talking, and here we are.
When I first met Jenna, I thought she was really, really, really hot, and we got along really well. We would just sit there and joke around and laugh, and we just were able to just be comfortable with each other right away. So I really don't think I was thinking too far into the future, but I definitely knew when I first met her, I'm like, I don't think I want this to just fizzle out. So I want to see where it goes from here. And then I think, obviously the longer we got to know each other, the longer we were together, things just kind of blossomed into what they are today. But definitely, at first I wasn't thinking long term, and I don't really think she was either. In fact, I think she thought I was just going to be a one night stand or like just a hookup, but here I am.
The longest Zach and I have not talked was probably about 2 years. We haven't spoken one word. I mean, I always tried to hit him up. He would answer here and there, but barely ever. And we actually took a good 2-year break. So before we got back together the last time, we actually didn't date as long as we thought we did. I think we only dated like a year and a half. And we were broken up for 2 years, and then here we are now.
I actually don't know the longest we ever went without speaking during a breakup. Jenna could probably tell you the exact time down to the actual second.
2 years?
If I had to guess, I would say like a couple months. I definitely wouldn't speak to her. She was always reaching out to me. She was persistent, but yeah, I don't know the exact time, but Jenna could probably tell you the exact time down to the millisecond.
The thing with Zach and I is that we both live in different states, Michigan and New York. So I would always hear from Zach randomly in the middle of the year, and I would always know he'd break up with his girlfriend. So Zach would always call me or text me and just kind of start talking again. And I already knew they broke up because why are you texting me? But then he usually came to New York and we kind of always hit it off, and that's how we always got back together, to be honest. I mean, I'd always hit Zach up, but he'd answer here and there, and I just always knew when they broke up because he'd always hit me up.
I think Jenna always would like start to initiate it, and then she would go like 10%, and then I'd finish with a 90, or I'd go 90 and she'd go with a 10. You know, it's a gentleman thing to do. But honestly, I don't know the last one. I think it's always been a combination. It's always been one thing leads to the next. We get together, we meet up, we decide to go grab some food or a drink, and we just get along so well that's really hard to let go of that feeling. So I would honestly say it's always been kind of a mutual thing. We both just can't keep our hands off each other.
You want me to be honest? Did I ever think Zach and I would get married? Absolutely not. Have I prayed and wished and hoped? Absolutely. But I knew how Zach was, and I knew he wasn't really ready for a girlfriend anytime soon. And I'm over here ready. Let's go have babies. Let's get married. Let's get a house. So you know how girls are. But Zach was not in that point of his life yet. And I don't know. I just didn't think that we would have stayed together. We had a lot of fights. We had a lot of breakouts. I think that as we got older, we both kind of just realized what we both want, and we agreed, and we just started getting along better and just a way healthier relationship. And now we're here, and now we're getting married in February. Who would have thought?
I never really thought about that. Really, marriage wasn't something that I really thought about at first. And if I did think about it, I'd kind of get scared. But to be honest with you, I think that I kind of knew after Champs vs. Stars when I went on Vendettas, and I really didn't have any desire to kind of do anything but win the money. That was all I wanted to do on that one. I really was able to not get involved in any of the bullshit, not even flirt, not even think like that. I just was there for the money because I knew what I wanted at that point, and I wanted a life with Jenna. And not saying I didn't make any mistakes after then, but I definitely started putting in the effort and working my hardest to be better for her at that point. So, yeah, I think when we got back together the last time, I knew that if I was going to do this again, I was going to do it the right way. And so, yeah, I did. And that is all. Uh-huh.
I'm shutting this door in here, though.
Yeah, shut the bedroom door.
I am. I'm showering.
Are you taking a dump?
No, I'm showering.
Is that going to make the final edit?